let's start off by looking at the design and build quality on the S24 Ultra, which I have had new from the day it was released. And many months later, I can tell you in terms of the build and design quality, it is faultless. It really is totally flawless. I love everything about it. Yeah, it's got a nice weight to it. It's not heavy, especially for such a big phone, and it does feel durable. It does feel that if you're going to drop this thing, yeah, it will definitely take some hits. Now, in my case, you can see many months later, I've not had any scratches, scrapes, dinks whatsoever. Now, that could be because I like to have a case on mine, especially a transparent case, so I can show off that beautiful color on the rear of the device. And also, it's not a fingerprint magnet either on the back here or the titanium sides here. So again, really, really nice. The S24 Ultra does support eSIM, but more importantly for me, it also supports 2 nano SIMs. Something I've always argued should be standard, especially at this price point.
So you can use one SIM for work and the other for personal. Or you can use one SIM for personal and one for traveling, which saves you carrying 2 phones or swapping SIMs.
Now, because this is a big phone, now you may struggle to put it in your rear pants, trouser or short pockets, or even in a jacket. So again, that's just something to bear in mind. It will differ for everyone indeed. But I love the aesthetics of it. So on the sides, on the left and right of the device, really nice, very smooth feel, again, because again, it's all made of titanium on the sides. Again, on this right hand side, again, really nice and smooth. Love the clicking here, and obviously you've got the nice antenna lines there as well. And at the top and bottom, it just feels like it's got like it is smooth, but just like a bit of a rugged texture to it, slightly different to the texture on the sides. But again, nothing to worry about whatsoever.
It is nice to know that we now get 7 years of software and security patch updates, which is excellent news. Now let's see how mine will last for, as I plan to keep this device for 7 years. But I'm willing to bet it will be the battery that will probably force me to upgrade maybe after 5 years or so.
One thing you may not like about this phone, and that is because it has these very sharp edges. So as a result, when you hold it in your palm, it can make it very uncomfortable. For me, it's not an issue because I just hold it down like so. Something that I do to help me handle this device, and that is to put a case on the back. Yes, this transparent one, not only to show off the beautiful color design on the back, but it also helps handling it, especially in the palm of my hand like so. Now, you may decide that you want a case with a rounded edge. Again, I thought I'd give you something to consider, especially if you're considering purchasing this device. And again, this is handling it on a day-to-day basis. In terms of the cameras, I do like that really nice modern setup there. One thing I will say is that don't really see any on there at the moment, is that because of these camera rings set up, you will get dust particles that can sit around the sides. The other thing that most people are going to like about this device, and that is the fact that it does have a flat screen. Yes, that will please a lot of people because yeah, there were complaints about the curved display, which I never had an issue with because I had the Note 20 Ultra, which had the curved display, which I really loved, and I just think it made it more luxurious. But hey, it is what it is.
The device comes with Android 14, and you should continue to get updates all the way up to Android 21.
Of course, the S24 Ultra is known for the signature S Pen that sits in the housing here. Now, this is not an optical illusion, but it does look like it's not fully in the device. Press it like so, it's out. That means it's fully in. I think for me it should be more symmetrical so there can be no ambiguity. The other thing about the S Pen as well, obviously it does amazing things. is that I wish the color of this S Pen matched the color of the rear of the device. At the bottom here, you do have a speaker, although you'd never know it. It would be nice if it was a speaker grill. And at the top, there are no speakers, but I can assure you that the sound also comes from somewhere in here. And together, they produce good stereo sound. And you also get Dolby Atmos. Besides receiving the device in the box, you also get a SIM tool ejector, quick start guide and a Type-C to Type-C charging cable, which I have to say is a little understated, especially when you're paying top dollar for such a device. And in my case, I bought the 1TB option and this was all that was inside the box. The irony is my S24 Ultra was delivered in this box, which is from Samsung, showing that there's plenty of room to add some accessories, especially at this price point. When it comes to unboxings and presentation, Xiaomi certainly know how to deliver. For example, you get a SIM tool ejector and some paperwork. They also supply a USB-A to USB Type-C charging cable. Of course, you do get a flexible case which you can start to use right away with the device. And if that's not enough, you also get a 120 watt charging brick, which will charge the device from 0 to 100% in about 30 minutes. Everything came inside this box and cost around $750 for the 1TB option.
Samsung, that is what an unboxing experience should be like. You can use this device in direct sunlight, and as you can see, I've got it at around 80% brightness. If that's not enough, you can turn on the adaptive brightness or the extra brightness option. In the 6 months I've had this device, I've not had any heating issues at all. Even in 90 degrees like it is today, the S24 Ultra has never skipped a beat.
One area where Samsung could definitely improve on, and that is on their push notification icons, because as you can see they're very bland, all in white there. So I can see got 3 YouTube ones, definitely got a message and a WhatsApp notification icon. But it would be nice if these were in color. And again, switch the device off, look at that, very bland indeed. Now I know for a fact there are phones which are 1/3 of the price of the S24 Ultra, and the push notification icons on those devices are fantastic.
Initially there seemed to be an issue with the face unlock, especially at night, and I thought damn, but for whatever reason seemed to settle down and it's been working fine ever since.
When you lay this device on a flat surface, do expect an element of rocking. But with a case like this, which is raised to cover the cameras, meaning when I lay it on a flat surface, there is no rocking whatsoever.
It also comes with an IP68 dust and water resistant rating, meaning you can use this device outdoors in the wet. And you can also have it submerged in water for 1.5 meters for up to 30 minutes. So this should give you added reassurance using this device outdoors in the wet. Did you know that we have reached 800 subscribers? It was 850 at the last count. And with your help, let's get this channel to 1,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do consider giving the subscribe button below a gentle nudge. And it is free to do. And a big thank you to those of you who have subscribed to the channel. One of the nice things about the S24 Ultra is that it comes with the Snapdragon 8 Gen chipset, no matter where in the world you purchase it. Unlike previous models, which had both Exynos and Snapdragon chipsets.
If you purchase this device from new, one thing you may notice is the battery life, which may not be the greatest. But that is no cause for alarm, because all the device is doing is learning your usage pattern. And you'll see after a few days, everything will settle down and your battery life will be excellent.
Of course, you can shoot video at 4K 60 frames per second on both the front and rear facing cameras. You can also shoot video in 8K at 30 frames per second on the rear facing camera.
Within the camera app, you do get these options here, and when it comes to the photo, if you select the top here, you can choose between the 12 megapixel, 50 megapixel and 200 megapixel lens. And if we go into the more section, you have these options which are available to you. And if that's not enough, just tap on the Pro Video option here, and at the top you can shoot video in 4K up to 120 frames per second.
Now let's take a look at some sample photos and videos taken with the S24 Ultra. And remember, none of them have been doctored pre or post production.
There's no denying that the cameras on this device are fantastic. However, there are a couple of things that I wish it did have. The first is the cinematic mode, like on the latest iPhone Pro Max. And the other one is something that if you're definitely a movie buff, you'll definitely agree with me. So for example, here I've got a Chinese phone here. This is the Xiaomi K70 Pro. And if I go into the aspect ratio here and I change from say 9:16 or 16:9 and I select this widescreen option, look at that. I can now film in wide screen. One of the cool things you can do now, especially with fast moving videos, so just demonstrate that here and just expand that so you can see this clearly, and then just by pressing down like so, look at that, slows it down somewhat. That is pretty cool if I say so myself.
The big standout this year on the S24 Ultra are the AI features.
One of the nice things about the AI features is that they're all grouped in one place. under your settings menu. So here, when it comes to phone calls, you can get real-time translation. Again, really useful and very effective. So again, Samsung keyboard, so you can change the tone of your writing style, so from formal to informal, interpreter, and really useful. And the other thing to note with some of these AI features is that you don't need to be connected to a Wi-Fi or have any data plan. It will work offline, which is really handy. So here's Samsung Notes. So if you see an article, you can translate it, summarize it, etc. Again, really useful AI features. And I have covered a lot of these AI features in bite-sized videos on my channel. One of the popular AI features is the circle to search. And the beauty with this feature is that, as you can see, it is very fast and accurate. And you can use it to search for people, objects, places, famous faces, and text. The other thing you can do with the circle to search is solve mathematical equations, as in this case here. Circle around there. Look at that. Got the answer, which is pretty fast and accurate. And I have covered this in a bite-sized video on my channel.
Whilst all the AI features may not appeal to everyone, but I believe there is something in there for everyone. Just in case you're not aware, the AI features belong to Google and are free to use up until the 31st of December 2025. Thereafter, it may go behind a paywall, but up until the publication of this video, Samsung have not announced what will happen after this date. This is definitely an all-day phone with heavy use, although it would be nice if Samsung improved the charging speeds, because you have Chinese competitors that offer 67 watt, 80 watt, and even 120 watt charging without a problem. But I guess with Samsung's fiasco a few years ago where batteries were exploding, I guess that's why they're pretty cautious. One thing you certainly want to know about this device, and that is the call quality. And I can tell you, I've had no issues on that front. Calls are crisp, clear, and sharp. Even traveling abroad, I use this device and I've never had any issues with phone calls, and I get regular 4G and 5G connection.
When it comes to the software on this device, Samsung have pretty much nailed it. It is par excellence. You can customize this device in so many ways. You even have good lock here, so you can customize the device even further, keeping it for longer, especially as you have 7 years of software and security patch updates on this device. Whilst we're here, if you see up there, got the dynamic island, which you now can have on an Android device. So let me quickly send myself a message. Something should just pop through there. Look at that. And right from here with this dynamic island, you can, so just tap on there. Look at that. So right from here, I can reply, mark as read, or I can mute it. Meaning you don't have to go into the app itself. Really cool. And again, you can, with the app, you can customize it further, change the colors, how long you want it for, etc. So again, really cool feature, and it works really well on this device. Here you have your edge panels. Again, everything very intuitive. If you use a Samsung device before, you'll know it is fantastic. And yeah, I've got to give Samsung 10 out of 10 for their software on this device. And then also if we go here, so look, everything runs smoothly. Oof, really nice, 120 Hz, very smooth indeed. Fantastic. So you shouldn't have any issues with the software on this device.
If you decide to sell your S24 Ultra after a few years, the good news is that it should command a premium. Equally, if you plan to purchase the S24 Ultra, say after 3 years, you can expect to pay a bit more.
This device does come with around 30 gigabytes of system storage, at least for the 1 terabyte option that I have here. Some of the pre-installed apps you can delete, and some you will not be able to delete. Now, This is not an issue if, for instance, you are purchasing the 512 or the 1TB option. But if you're thinking of purchasing the 256GB model, well, you can use the 30GB of pre-installed apps as a guide, and when you deduct that from the 256GB, you know that you're going to be left with around 220GB to play with.
Well, that pretty much wraps it up for this episode. My name is Shola. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another episode. Ciao.